Hey, what's up, everybody? So, same keyword as yesterday. The keyword for today is going to be range. So, I'm going to get right into it with the SPY. The SPY is currently 437, and I will bring up the chart shortly. Now, the upside on the SPY is going to be 440, and I know the market was extremely green overnight. The Dow was up like 200 points, and tech was up over 100 points, and now things are more flattened out, okay? Which is more believable. There was no reason for it to shoot up overnight except for people trying to get ahead of the market. Okay, so upside on the SPY, 440. We're at 437 now. Downside, which I think there's more potential, 432. Now, I zoom out for this one, okay? Zoom out, I said yesterday, I think some point next week, we're going to be 430 on the SPY, which means the markets are going to get red and the market's going to be ugly. Now, here's the thing. My last couple of predictions, I'm like, hey, this will happen by next week. And what happens? It happens that day. So I'm not saying the SPY is going to 430 today, but if it happened, it wouldn't shock me. I'd be like 50-50 on it. And yes, we're at 437 today right now, and it would have to take going down. And futures were green up a couple hundred points. So I'm not only saying that we're going to give back that green, but I'm saying it's potential to go down. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the market and what's controlling the market. So oil, right? The U.S. and Iran are now speaking, and we're asking Iran to put more barrels into the market, more oil, right? More supply, keep a constant demand, the price of oil goes down. But we're talking to Iran, right? Didn't we hate Iran? Don't they hate us? All right, so gold is a little lower, gold and metals. Why? Because now they're talking about diplomacy with Russia and Ukraine, and our VP, Kamala Harris, is scheduled to meet with the Ukrainian president on Saturday. Now, that's funny on Saturday, because what did I say I thought Russia was going to do? Attack on Sunday, the last day of the Olympics. Okay, lastly, I heard this morning, and I didn't know about this. The fourth largest crypto hack happened February 2nd, $300 million worth of crypto. Doesn't bode well for crypto, because I like crypto, but I have to keep my wallet offline. So it's almost like having a physical wallet. I buy it online, I store it in my drive, I pull the drive out, and that way no one can touch my crypto. But it's a pain in the butt, right? Crypto is supposed to be secure, safe, autonomous. Anyway, so Biden says war is inevitable. Markets, obviously, because the markets were up pre-market, have been told no war, right? Because the markets are looking like they want to push higher. And we saw that pre-market bounce. Now, this is why I sold my UVXY calls, because I was worried that we would have a bounce for no reason today. Yeah, imagine that. Yesterday, as the market's throwing up at 3 p.m., I'm going, imagine if they bounced the markets higher, which they were doing with futures. Now, thank goodness things have come down. But there are some stocks I'm going to talk about that will have demand. And I don't know why. I mean, these people are pumping Plantier, right? PLTR, right? It's like probably under $12 now. They were pumping it early in the week, going to be $17. Oh, earnings came out. Oh, they're a growth company. Then they come out afterwards. Now, here's the thing. Plantier has limited downside. So, yes, if the markets stay flat or even a little green today, I would look at Plantier. Another company I would look at if the markets stay flat or green today, okay? Roblox. I could definitely ride Roblox up. Why? Because I think Roblox is owed 5%. Now, if the markets get ugly, and I'm correct about the SPY going down, these stocks will go down further. They'll go down another 5 or 6%. So you have to determine the direction of the market, and don't get fooled. I've mentioned specific times to my platform members before, right? 9:30 to 10:30, extremely volatile, right? But we look at what happens around 10:15, because if the market's going down, usually there's a bit of a recovery. Do not get fooled. And if the market's going up, there's a bit of a sell-off at 10:15. Do not get fooled. So if it's a strong market day at 10:15, when they retract a little, they're probably going higher. Now, I'm just giving you information and data to use when you see and you're like, oh, Matt told me if the market looks like this, this will probably happen. It's like planning ahead. You don't know what the moves are until you see how the game unfolds. Okay, and then you have companies like DraftKings. DraftKings came out with earnings, right? And people were telling me I should buy DraftKings at $45 per share. Then they were saying I should buy it at $29 a share. My friends from Wall Street, people that supposedly like me, are telling me to buy DraftKings. And I'm like, dude, I understand sports gambling. I understand that world. Fantasy is not going to make the money. In fact, there are so many sports bookies online that I don't know if DraftKings will succeed in what they're doing. So 440 million of revenue, okay? Not profit, of revenue. They're still not profitable. I don't think they made a dime. Well, maybe they made a dime. I don't know. I don't want to say something I'm unsure of. 440 million of revenue. Let's compound that four quarters in the year. Let's put them at like 1.8 billion on the year. What are they going to make off that? A few $1 million? I mean, their valuation is ridiculous. So yeah, DraftKings at $19. I don't know. I was saying when it was like $72, it was too rich, and people were saying DraftKings going to 100. So that's kind of my thought process on today's market. Let me just see if I can pull up the SPY real quick, and we can get that going. Boom. I'm getting much better at this. Okay, yeah. So look at that. The SPY is up 0.08 pre-market. Now let's just pull out. Let's just go to the 1 month chart here. Why? Because when I look at the 1 month chart, what do I like to show you guys? I like to show you inflow versus outflow. Red is obviously outflow. Red is negative. Green is positive. And then the size of the candles, which tells me the volume. So if we look at the volume from yesterday, 102 million on the SPY, which I thought yesterday was light. But if you look at the day before that, 84, 88, and those were inflow days. So you've got Thursday, light outflow day, right? Prior to that, okay, Wednesday and Tuesday, inflow days where the market actually went higher from here, from 439. So that's why I'm telling you guys, on the top side, I would be shocked if the SPY gets to 439. All of a sudden, I'm going to be doing like, okay, need to get some puts. I'll buy a couple contracts, maybe 3. It goes up even higher. Let's say the SPY goes to 440. I'll be like, okay, give me like 9 more contracts. And when I buy the SPY contract, I'm going to give myself a chance to be correct. So let's say I'm wrong about the market today. Let's say for some reason there's inflow today and they're like Russia diplomacy and the market loves that shit and it starts going up. You don't want to over lever yourself. I don't want to buy 3, then 30, then 60, then 90, because Monday morning I'll have no money left to buy anything. So I enter and I buy 3 contracts. I let them expire maybe next Wednesday. That way I have Friday, Monday's a holiday, Tuesday and Wednesday to be right. 3 days. So let's say I'm wrong today. Boom. I still got 2 days. And what if Russia goes to war? There's no doubt. If Russia goes to war, the markets will give back 4 to 5%. Yes, every single stock. So you're going to be like, oh, what's Tesla at? Oh my God, it's off $50 on Monday because Russia went to war. I mean, yeah, why should it matter? But it does. Okay, so that's my kind of thought process on the market. You guys know I like UVXY. Oh, I started the small account challenge, and I'm going to answer some questions. So ask some questions if you guys have it. It'll be like 4 or 5 questions. But here's the thing. Small account challenge. I'm putting a link under the video below so you can click on it. It's an app called Iris. Now, what you do is you just open it. You don't have to hook anything up. You just log on, create a password. You don't have to create your account or anything like that. But it allows you to follow my trades. You look for 3, 4, 9 trading, and you're like, okay, follow this dude. And it has other people too. It has their record. So it's like, this person's a successful trader. He has got 2 open trades or something like that. And you can be like, oh, I wonder where he's trading. So again, it's like anything in the market. The more data you get to process, the better you're going to be. So the fact that this app allows you to see my trades prior to them happening, like I already told Carlos, I haven't told PB yet, but I'm thinking since I mentioned the SPY is going to go down to 430 at some point next week, I would buy some SPY puts at the top today, but for the small account challenge. So I'd buy maybe 1. I'd probably spend like $350. So I'd look at something that might cost, like $500 right now. And then I say to myself, I want a discount of like 30% based on where it closed yesterday. So I'll find a $5 put for next Wednesday. And then I'll say, okay, I'll pay like $340 for it. I'll look for a 32% discount off the current price. Now, if I get it, great. Something that somebody was just willing to pay $500 for, myself, all of a sudden gets the same option for $340, saving 32%. Yeah, it allows me not to stare at my phone all day. It allows you to actually work a real job. So I send that announcement. Hey, I'm looking at this put. It's $500. I'm putting in a bid for $340. You can go on Iris. You can see, hey, Matt's bid is at $340 for 1 contract that expires. I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to use a 10% rule. Matt's going to pay $340. I'll pay $3.10 or $310. You can do it because here's the catch. If it starts at $5 and it goes down because the market goes up, right? And I get hit at $340 and I'm like, yeah, I just saved 32%, Matt. You're a genius. Somebody else who's following me put in for $310 and they're like, yeah, Matt's a genius, but I'm even smarter because I just saved an extra, 10% off him. And then the point is, when I return 40%, he's going to return 50%, or she's going to return 60%. So it's there. You have to have strategy. You have to understand what you're doing. Let me just take another look at the pre-market real quick and see if I can give you guys any more insight, and then I'm going to answer some questions. So something else I'm watching is Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin's at 40,400. Remember, it was at 44,000 literally probably like 30 hours ago. Okay, I'm watching it because it's moving with the Nasdaq. It shouldn't. It should be autonomous to the Nasdaq, but it moves with the markets. That's what's happening right now. No way about it. Okay, so here's another thing that catches my eye that doesn't make sense, right? You got Roku, who reported. Roku did not wow anybody with their projections, their forecasts. I think they're off like 25% pre-market. They're off 25%. Netflix, which is like their brother, it's like Burger King and McDonald's, Pepsi and Coke. Netflix pre-market is up 1.60%. So something's got to give. So I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen, and then we'll get into some questions. So if the market takes a shit on itself and you see the SPY trickle down to like 433, it's off 0.5 instead of being up 0.5, which it was pre-market, like literally 2 hours ago, you're going to see Roku instead of 25%, it'll be like 32% or 31%. And I said the same thing yesterday for Fastly. In fact, I didn't say the market had to be ugly yesterday. I said Fastly was down 25%, and you will see 33% down at some point during the day. And do you know what happened at open? Fastly spiked up to 2140 and then dropped to like 1922 by the end of the day. So again, Matt was right. You could have got some puts cheap because as it looked like it was recovering, people were selling them. I went with NVIDIA puts yesterday and I crushed it, but I sold too soon. I'm in NVIDIA puts at 254. It's going down. At 251, I sell 3 of them. And I'm like, what am I doing? I should just hold it. It's not even like 10 a.m. And it goes down to like 242, a whole 9 more points down. And when my options expire Friday, massive percentage there. All right, so let me see pre-market. Yeah, Bitcoin's not moving. It's holding still. Carnival, which is one of my Dow trackers, was up 1%, is now down 0.31%. Now, here's the catch. I would use Carnival. If you're tracking the Dow today, Carnival. Why? Because it has crazy demand. Same with some of the airlines, right? And, the airlines might get hit today. So here's another thing, another theory, right? Cold front coming in this weekend, bury the Midwest to the Northeast, flight cancellations. What does that mean for airline stocks? Well, it should mean they're going down. If airline stocks go down, they'll probably take casinos and cruise ships with it. We already know that supply might be added. So oil stocks will likely go down. Those are all Dow components. So I might watch and look at a bank stock. Let me just look at a pre-market bank stock. We'll look at Goldman Sachs. And that'll tell me, all right, Goldman Sachs, it's about flat. It's up 0.17%. So, unfortunately, it doesn't really tell me. If Goldman was down, and you see Goldman, cruise ships, airlines, and I'm just talking about a little, you see outflow. If you see it at 10 a.m., between 9:30 and 10 a.m., it's just not going to flip a switch. It's not like everybody's selling and all of a sudden at 10 a.m., they're like, oh, we're going to buy this market, because they do that shit, and it tries to throw you off. So understand, that's what the banks are here for. They're here to confuse you. I'm here to tell you, zoom out, look at the bigger picture. Buy sometime next week. The SPY will be at 430. So somebody will say to me, Matt, the SPY went up on Friday, hypothetically, right? And I'll be like, great. That just gives you entry if you believe the SPY will be at 430. Now, let's say it goes down to 433 and it just drops. And you're like, Matt said 430. No, don't chase, because if the SPY does drop to 433, it's likely it'll bounce back up at some point during the day and you can get better entry. All right, so we're running out of questions because I want you guys to be able to do stuff for the market. So remember the links below. Let's see, can we get 1 or 2 questions? Hey, do I see spike? Okay, so here's the crazy thing, right? I heard someone talking about, well, the federal government would be great if the SPY broke 390. It would make the markets right. That's what they said on CNBC. Like, you're just going to flip a switch like, hey, SPY 390, everything's down 20%. No, it actually has to be traded. So breaking below 420, it's a possibility. Again, we're too far out. I'm telling you, and it's a way out prediction because the SPY was 440 when I said it's going to be 430. All right, so 10 points on the SPY would be 2.5% of the market, basically. So I was saying a day or two ago, 2.5%, we'll see it by next week. So now you're asking me, am I going to see an extra 10%? So it'll be a 5% drop in the market. Here's what's likely. If we drop to 430 at some point next week, unless there's news to change people's perception, it's likely you'd probably see, I don't think 420. I think 420 is too low. I would say maybe like 426. So what would happen is there would be an ugly day next week. It would drop to 430. You'd get a bounce the next day. And then possibly 1 or 2 days after, you would see it. Now, when it does touch that number, when it touches, the SPY touches a number that people think is too low, you see an instantaneous bounce. So the market throws up and you're like, oh God. But then you check a second later and it's like back up. So let's see any other questions. Oh my God, DraftKings. So what, it's down 15%. Let me take a look at it real quick. I'm going to use my phone because I don't want to mess up the stuff. DF, I don't even know what DraftKings is because I don't follow it. DraftKings. All right, DraftKings. DN. Okay, Donkey Kong. That's how we remember it. Outflow at 8. Volume. Yeah, when volume increases. Oh, it's already at 1850. So how low can it go? You know, it's really dependent on the market. So I'll give you, for instance, right now. Okay, so DraftKings is off 16% right now. 16%, 3.58. DraftKings could go down as much as, and it's been beaten up lately. So you got to factor that in. Let me just look at the 5-day, see what it's given up. Oh, God. All right, yeah. 21 to 22% on a bad day. So the markets get ugly like I think they will by the afternoon because who wants to carry stock through? So, yeah, I think DraftKings can give them back another 6%. So here's would be my play. Let's say the market's bounced sometime between 930 and 950. This is my DraftKings play. So the markets look like they're recovering. There are so many people that will try and jump on DraftKings. Oh, I'll get that quick bounce. I would wait for that quick bounce. And when you see the market start to turn there, I'm buying the puts because it's likely DraftKings will fall more than it's down right now. All right. Am I buying the Roku dip? No. Again, I would buy Netflix. I would buy Netflix as opposed to Roku because when stocks tend to dip, they do recover, right? Because that's what you're thinking, Greg. However, sometimes the recovery is like this, and then it fakes and goes lower. And I mentioned that with Fastly. I mentioned that with Roblox, right? Roblox was off like 15%. It was actually only off 11%. Then I said, expect a lot worse. Then it went 15, pre-market 16. Then it went 25, 26 during the day. And then it dropped like 2% yesterday. So, I mean, that's 20%. And that's the same stock that I mentioned 2 or 3 weeks ago, Roblox. And I was like, in 3 days, it went up 31%. And I'm like, you guys don't catch that? All of a sudden, it's worth 31% more. Shit doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it's unlikely. Whatever stock or option you're looking at, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably going to come down. It's like people that pump certain stocks. Like you got that guy, Zach Morris, and the dude's traveling on planes and all this other stuff, but he's pumping these stocks. And half the people are like, hey, you're pumping them. He's like, yeah, I'm pumping. So the people that know how to follow his pump are making killer money because he pumps the stock and it shoots up. The problem is the 98% of people that don't know how to trade it that get stuck holding the bags while he's flying on his jets. All right, let's get another question, man. All right. When will you start showing trades on Iris? Yeah. So Carlos is going to handle that one. I appreciate everybody turning in. I'm going to check out the market right now. Carlos is going to take over, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, how's it going? Listen, just a quick recap on Iris. Iris is a great app. We are just getting started with it. We're actually talking with one of the founders, so he's guiding us through the whole thing, and we have it hooked up. Everything is ready to go. You can use it. The link is I think Matt tweeted it out, so you can check it out there. But if you are part of our Discord, you can also check out all the trades from within our Discord. How do you join the Discord? Just go to 349trading.com. All the way at the bottom, it says join our Discord. The invite is there. I actually made it so that it is public for everybody. So you don't even have to be a member of the 349 family. Inside you have a lot of great stuff. You'll see it. But even if you're just browsing around, you'll be able to see it right there. Okay, so you don't have to download the Iris app if you don't want to. If you're already part of the 349 family, just go on and you'll see it on the Discord. If you want the invite, go down there, 349trading.com. All the way at the bottom, it says join our Discord and check it out. If you do have Iris, just look for us, 349 Trading, and you'll be able to follow all the trades. As soon as Matt makes one, which will probably be either today, Tuesday, whenever it happens. It's not like we want to do a trade every day. Like Matt said, we will do 3 trades a week or something like that, whatever the market gives us to grow that small account. All right, guys, Matt's out there looking at the market. I have to do a ton of other stuff. So thank you very much, and adios, amigos.